Actor and Kentucky native Josh Hopkins appears in a new movie, the Western Rust, that was in the headlines after a real-life death on the set. I sat down recently with Josh to talk to him about that tragedy, plus his successful career and memories of his late Congressman father. Josh Hopkins, it's a pleasure to sit down with you for a few.
Thank you, Renee. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.
So I want to go back to memory lane a little bit because I saw a clip when you were on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I think this was around 2013-ish, maybe.
I have no idea.
Okay, it was a few years ago, and you were talking about being a part of a breakdancing crew called the Fun Bunch.
Sure.
So I was thinking, okay, from the Fun Bunch to Ally McBeal, Quantico, all of these great movies, G.I. Jane, which I remember some of us here at work going to see, you in, and of course now Rust. I mean, just talk about how you go from the Fun Bunch breakdancing crew to Rust.
Well, it's all performing, right? It's all performing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been very lucky, and you know, I still call this home. This is when I say I live now. I moved from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas, and I still say, well, I'm going home, and people are like, what? I'm like, Kentucky's home.
Still your home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, from the Fun Bunch breakdancing crew.
Can you still do that?
I mean, I'll give you a little, you know.
That's not bad.
That hurt my back.
We're not responsible. Did you sign a disclaimer?
Yeah, I'm going to show up next time. KTO's me.
Well, let's talk about, do you prefer to do movies? Or do you prefer like these TV series like Cougar Town and those types of things that you had tremendous success at?
You know, it's a completely different process, and it really depends on the script and whatnot. You know, if you're doing good material anywhere, that's the most fulfilling part. If you've got, you know, great writers, then whatever you're doing feels more fun.
Yeah.
You know, Cougar Town was great because I got to shoot it in Los Angeles where I was living. I got to go, you know, so many times, especially for films, I have to travel and shoot on location, which is cool too, but it's nice to be in your own bed.
Yeah.
You know, but that one was great because I really, really liked everyone. And, you know, for 6 years we shot, so that's important that you like everyone, you know, at work. But I also like the process of really delving deep into one character for just, you know, 6 weeks or a couple months or something, to really go into that, because you can't really do that in television, because say the television show runs 6 years.
Right.
I mean, for you to be as in depth into this other character rather than yourself, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about Rust.
Okay.
We've heard some great acclaim of your role, and you play U.S. Marshal Woodhelm. And I know, having talked to Shay Hopkins, who, out of matter of full disclosure, is the CEO of KET, and your sister, who said that your father, the late Larry Hopkins, really always wanted to see you in a Western. An American Western.
Always said that.
Of all the things you've done, that was something that he really wanted to see you in. So what does it mean to you to be able to do this?
It's really special. You know, it's bittersweet in that, you know, when I was on set shooting it, I miss him every day. Right. And he just would always say, you should do a Western. And there weren't a lot of Westerns being made, and I was like, well, Dad, you know, it's not up to me, you know. And he'd be like, well, you should. I wish you'd do a Western. And that was his type of movie, you know. I did a lot of comedies and different things, and he really, really loved Westerns. I grew up watching them with him, so it's the really most Americana of genres of cinema, and he just loved them. And so when I was shooting this, and he had passed, there'd be long days, and I remember thinking, I hope this day never ends.
Yeah.
You know, where I'd walk into a saloon, backlit with a cowboy hat and gun strapped to me for, you know, I could feel him with me. So it's bittersweet, you know, but he would have loved to see this film.
Yeah.
He really would have.
Yeah, well, he's proud of, in glory. Like,
Yes, absolutely. I can feel him.
Yeah, and there's so much to Rust, right? It has its own storied past, and we all know that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
processing the death of the lead cinematographer, Helena, and coming back to reshoot the film or finish shooting the film. I mean, how did you process all of that? You were on set that tragic day. I mean, how did you process all that and then decide to come back? And how were you even convinced to come back?
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult, particularly professional situations I've ever dealt with, and completely unique and surreal. Just the shock. Helena was such a beautiful person and incredible artist, and so passionate, and really in so many ways was driving the production just with her passion. She had a saying, it's the last card of the movie, where she said, how can we make this better? Whatever we were doing, we get ready, how can we make this better? And it was a surreal time to be when the accident happened, and to be not even sure of what was going on myself, being on set, and then being in my trailer and looking on my phone, and there's helicopters. I can see my trailer from being broadcast on my phone, and I'm like, it's very hard to process. And then to feel the loss of this incredible person, and then that's all that's on television, 24/7 for the next few weeks, and it keeps coming back,
right?
Because this lawsuit is happening, and this is starting, and so it just seemed like it would never go away. And I never in a million years thought we'd come back and finish it. Didn't really have a desire to. But after they settled the lawsuit, the family became the producer, really, her husband, Matt. And when they called me and actually said, we want to come back and finish it, the family wants it done. They really want the world.
The husband, Matt, had called you and told you this.
Yes, right. Well, that's what I said. I said, I totally believe you. It's not like you're going to lie to me and say, but I'm not going anywhere until I hear it from his mouth. So they put me on a Zoom with Matt, and he asked me to come back and finish it. And I'm really glad we did, because the film is so stunning. And every review has said that. She was an incredible artist, and it's the tableau, every scene is incredible. And for cinematographer, that is like, everyone wants to do a Western.
Right.
Because what you can do with that genre, is with lighting and just the vistas you get to work with.
Right.
And it's visually stunning.
Yeah.
So
She'd be proud.
Oh, her family's incredibly proud.
Yeah.
And it is, people who see it, it's a shame we don't get to see this artist's work, because she was incredibly talented.
Josh Hopkins in the movie Rust is in theaters now and is also available on video on demand streaming.